Hello guys, so today I would like to discuss with you a new Ice Barrier card that was released, which is Mirror Magic Master of the Ice Barrier. So personally I think that this card is going to pop off in water decks in general, not because it actually has any useful synergy with water decks. I mean, it does have some kind of useful synergy, but I mean that it generally will probably make Swap Frog slightly better, at least for us, I guess. So the tiny combo I guess you can just do is that you can normal or special the Swap Frog, use its effect to actually send the Mirror Magic Master, because fun fact, she's a level 2 Aqua, and this card says that when she's sent to the graveyard you can actually add any Ice Barrier card from your deck to your hand, and the only other Ice Barrier card we are playing is the Freezing Chains of the Ice Barrier. Of course, you can play Swap Frog in every Ice Barrier build, which we are going to make one as well soon, and obviously Swap Frog in Ice Barriers is going to be awesome. And here we can actually activate the Freezing Chains, and Freezing Chains lets you special summon one Ice Barrier from the grave, and now you have 2 level 2 Aquas, which means that you can actually make a free Toad before even normal summoning if you actually did special summon the Swap Frog. Some other great implications this has is that in general in our Kiski combos, if you recall, we go for Gigantic Sprite and then Anemone, and we have to use Gigantic Sprite's effect to special summon a Swap Frog from the deck, use its effect to send another Swap Frog, and Anemone has to revive this Swap Frog. Now if we just have the ability to go into the Gigantic Sprite, we can actually send special summon Swap Frog. Swap Frog sends the Mirror Master, and she searches the Freezing Chains and revives herself on her own without the need for an Anemone. I personally think that this opens up a lot of more playmaking ability, and it provides a lot more extension, because also you can use these cards don't lock you into anything, so you can actually use those for an Anemone to special summon something from the grave. You can use them for an Abyss Keeper to special summon your Grim from your hand, which means that you wouldn't have used your normal summon even after summoning the Grim. You could go into a Hashima because they are 2 level 2s, and so on. I mean, yeah. Let me show you an example of a deck list I have for my Kiskis right here. So I'm now trying the 2 Mirror Masters. It's not that it is super important, but I kind of like drawing it as well, because sometimes you can discard it with Run and get a Freezing Chains, which is a free body, because yeah. And I also can discard it with 1 for 1. I can discard it with Swap Frog and chain block the search for the Mirror Master. And yeah, it's not that important. It's not that great to draw it also, but I mean, I guess it can sometimes help. And also, so yeah, probably might cut one, but yeah. Also, drawing the Freezing Chains isn't that big of a problem. You just don't get a +1 from the Mirror Master. You can just summon Swap Frog, send the Mirror Master, and just revive it with chains without searching. And yeah, also fun fact, sometimes you can end up on Triple Toad in this build. Right now I don't have it here. I would possibly remove the Appaloosa, I guess, to go for it. And yeah, one last tip before we go into the combos, I guess. is that a Mirror Master has another effect as well, which says that you can tribute one other effect monster as a cost, and you can special summon up to 3 Ice Barrier tokens that are level 1, and if you do, you also increase this card's level by the same number, which means that you can tribute any monster you control other than the Mirror Master and special summon 3 tokens, up to 3 tokens, and she can go to up to level 5, which gives you a free Dragite, but because she's a tuner as well, by the way, fun fact. And the only problem with this is that she locks you into water synchros for the rest of the turn. This is kind of meh, but the other good thing is that she's a water, so tributing water for cost can actually trigger your Atlanteans, which can come up sometimes for an extra search or something. Just keep it in mind. So let's get into some combos. So here we are going to see our regular one card Diva combo, which was kind of complicated if you recall. We had to use a Toad from our field as link material, make a tiny recycling loop, and then try to end up on the Napalooza with 3 materials, Neri Manas and the Toad. So here things are a lot more straightforward, because as we said earlier, getting into the gigantic sprite can give you a free Toad. So we can do our usual combo. If you don't know how this works, I have a lot of videos in my channel, so yeah. We get our searches, we can discard both of those to get our ritual materials, special summon Neri Manas. Neri Manas revives at level 2, and here we can go into Gigantic Sprite. So Gigantic can special summon the Swap Frog. Swap Frog sends the Mirror Master. Mirror Master gets us Freezing Chains. Freezing Chains revives the Mirror Master, and we have our second Toad. And now we can actually link these two off for a sprint. And because the Toad only has materials, we can actually have one more interruption as well. So one Diva got us 2 Omni Negates, 1 Monster Negate and Shuffle, and a bounce with Sprint, which is very powerful in my opinion. And also let's try the usual Diva plus a Shadow, a Vision, or Focused Aqua Mirror, or Mulling Glacier combo, like a 1.5, I guess 5ish, like 1.6 maybe card combo. So obviously I think you can imagine that this is just the same combo but with Mulling as well. One tiny problem with those combos though is that because we need to make room for both Anemone and Gigantic Sprite, we have to link off the Mulling Glacier, which most of the time if we manage to use Mulling Glacier and have 2 Toads and the Neri Manas, it's kind of game already, but sometimes maybe it's not. So not having to link off the Mulling Glacier is actually super useful here, because we can go into our sprint and clear a room and make our second Toad. So here we have a sprint, Toad, Neri Manas and Mulling Glacier. Like, we had 2 Omni Negates with the discards technically, 2 more Omni Negates, 4, and we have 2 more interruptions if they have 5 cards in hand, 6 cards in hand, which they would probably. But yeah, I think those combos are awesome, and I think that Mirror Master is kind of going to become like a Ronin Toadin kind of thing. Not as broken, thankfully, but yeah. So let's see an example of a hand that has the Swap Frog. For example, here we can send the Swap Frog to special summon the other Swap Frog. We can send the Mirror Master to the grave, use its effect to add the Freezing Chains, and we can actually special summon it with the freezing chains. And yeah, so here there are a couple things we can actually do. We could go into a toad to actually protect any of our plays, or we could maybe go into a, let's say, a beastkeeper to special summon our princess or something like that. Typically I think it would be best to do this and then normal summon this, special summon Grimness effect, special summon the Abyss effect to bring us our shadow. Here though I would probably use 1-for-1, discard this to get me a Neptabyss effect, send dragoons, add dragoons effect, we get our vision, we use these two for a Hashima effect, dragoons, we get the search here, and now do we have 5? We have 5. So here we could actually just go for a Mooling play and have 2-ish, 2 Omni Negates and the Mooling. So I had an idea here. I'll actually get the Mooling, special summon Mooling, and here I want to use these two to go into this. I'll use these two to go into this. I'll use these two to go into this and grab me my shadow. This is just for the memes, by the way. Then I'll discard this, get my Nere manas. Then I'll discard this, get my photo mirror. And here, because the first toad we made is actually properly summoned, we can keep reviving it, even if we link it off, which is the awesome part. And here I can actually use a Gigantics effect, special summon a Swap Frog from my deck. I don't need its effect. Then bounce back the Nere mana, and revive a Mirror Master just for the giggles, and go for my triple toad. So now we have 3 Omni Negates, and we also discarded 2 cards from our opponent's hand. Nice. So once again, this was just for the memes, I mean this endboard. But actually, well, it's not exactly for memes. Like 3 Omni Negates is awesome, and 2 of these are properly summoned, which is insane. Yeah, so that's it for this video. I do think that Mirror Master is a mainstay for our deck right now. I love it. I hope you like it as well. We are also going to be posting a nice barrier list and duels and stuff. I love the new support, and yeah, thanks for watching.